There's an old camp song that says it only takes a spark to get a fire going. That phrase is especially significant to the life of Olympic runner Glenn Cunningham. His story begins back on a cold February morning in 1917 in Elkhart, Kansas. Young Glenn and his brother Floyd arrived to school early before their teacher. Trying to be helpful, they wanted to get the fire going for their schoolroom. But their good intentions went awry. They used a can of gasoline, mistaking it for kerosene. The stove exploded, catching the brothers and the school on fire. In a state of shock, they managed to get themselves to their home 2 miles away, their clothing burned and their flesh smoldering away. A doctor was rushed to their home, but the extent of their burns was severe. Floyd, the older brother, died within a few days from his wounds. He was 13. Glenn survived, but the diagnosis for him was grim. The doctor wrestled with whether or not to amputate his legs. He'd lost the flesh on his left toes, along with the flesh from both knees and shins. In addition, his transverse arch was nearly gone. In the end, the doctor told Glenn's parents that their son would likely never walk again. Glenn Cunningham was 7. But Glenn's mom believed that that would not be the life-defining story for her son. So she set to work. She massaged his legs for months, encouraging blood flow to the muscles and new flesh forming. She encouraged him to stand up to build his strength. When that goal was achieved, they turned their effort toward walking. Hard work and a positive spirit brought him more success and strength. He took his first steps nearly 1.5 years after the fire. Then, his dad encouraged him to pick up the pace and run so he could play with his brothers and sisters. His belief that you should always keep trying rubbed off onto Glenn. Those legs, with the steady exercise regimen, healed. He loved racing with his 5 siblings, and he was good at it. One day, as he was walking by the local drugstore, he saw some medals in the window. It was part of an advertisement for the mile race at the local fair. Glenn now had his next goal. He wanted to win a medal for running. He entered the race, and he won. That win sparked a flame inside Glenn. He loved to compete. He loved to run. He loved to win. So when high school rolled around, he joined the track team. His specialty was the mile run. He was invited to an elite track meet in Chicago, where only the best runners participated. Glenn won his race in a dominating fashion and set a new record. He went on to run for the University of Kansas. Glenn won his first big race, the 1932 NCAA 1500 meters. Because of that success, he was selected for the U.S. Olympic track team for the 1932 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. He finished 4th in the 1500-meter race. The next few years were busy for Glenn. He had another NCAA first-place finish for the 1500. He spent a summer racing in Europe. He competed in both indoor and outdoor seasons. He earned the nickname Iron Man and was honored with the Sullivan Memorial Trophy, which was awarded annually to the most outstanding amateur athlete. In 1934, he set the new world record for the mile run. That time of 4 minutes and 6.8 seconds stood for 3 years. Because of the Depression, the 1930s brought challenging times for most Americans. They were hungry for a hero, and Glenn Cunningham fit the bill. His underdog story, along with his hard work, extreme success, and positive energy, deepened his fan base. Americans had great interest in the mile race as the 1936 Olympic Games began. On the ship ride over to Berlin, Glenn was voted the most popular athlete by his fellow Olympians. Glenn also roomed with famed Jesse Owens, and the two were great friends. He was adored by fellow racers and the country he represented. The stage was set. Glenn was ready to go. But the weather for the Olympics that summer was cold and rainy, and the one thing that mostly bothered Glenn's legs: cold and rainy weather. While he'd had incredible success and had seemingly overcome his childhood injuries, he was still plagued by pain and scarring. He maintained a massage regimen, working his sore shins and feet. His running strategy had to be different than others at the time. Start out slower, conserve energy, then explode at the end. When he took to the starting line in Berlin for his race, his legs stabbed with pain, but Glenn did what he always had. He dug into the deep reservoirs of his strength and fought through the pain. In the final photo finish, Jack Lovelock of New Zealand edged by Glenn for the gold. At the time, Glenn made no mention of his leg pains as he was interviewed after the race. He said, "I feel I ran a fast race. I broke the Olympic record for the mile. Only one person in the world ran faster." The young man who was once told he would never walk again proudly accepted his Olympic silver medal. In addition to his degree from the University of Kansas, he went on to earn a master's degree from the University of Iowa and a PhD in physical education from New York University. He served as the physical education director at Cornell College in Iowa. He and his wife later opened and operated the Glenn Cunningham Youth Ranch in Kansas. They helped 10,000 needy and abused children over the years. The fire that nearly killed him as a child sparked a passion within him instead. His unbelievable determination as a child to be able to walk again led to an Olympic silver medal and a world record. He's been inducted into the National Track and Field Hall of Fame. But even more than that success was his willingness to help those who needed it most. Glenn Cunningham was a champion who was quite literally forged in the fire. He often said, "As long as you believe you can do things, they're not impossible." Perhaps that optimistic outlook and determination of will should spark something in us too. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below and click to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when we post our next inspiring sports story.